What's up? What's up, everybody? I got a crew here tonight. We're up late. Everybody's repping, and we're pumped. I don't know about you guys. I'm excited to see Jake Paul get knocked out at the end of this hour. So but we're gonna have a good time tonight. Again, got a killer crew. Thank you guys for joining us for From the Forum. If you would just go ahead and let the audience know who you are, where they can find your content, and we'll get this thing rocking. Start us off, Bob.
All right, Bob Lung at Bob_Lung, obviously. At Big Guy Fantasy Sports, and of course, repping the Expo T-shirt made by my one and only friend down below me here, JC from Sports Affiliation. But check everything out, Big Guy Fantasy Sports. We're going to talk about consistency tonight in fantasy football. And if you don't know about this, we're going to teach you tonight. You're going to have to subscribe to the Big Guy site because it's playoff time. If you're not there yet and you're not in the playoffs, you need some consistency in your life. We're here to give it to you. JC.
Man, consistency guide, man. It's one of the best, not if the best guide out there. 100% go out there and get it. My guy Bob Long, he does it well. He does it right. But anyways, I am JC at JC Money Design. You can find me on X. But Sports Affiliation, that is our spot and that is our brand. But yeah, I appreciate you rocking that sweet shirt up there, Bob, man. It is nice.
Appreciate it.
There it is. Well, I'm Nathan. I'm at Nate Cheatham on Twitter. I am the guy in the chair for IDP Plus and the Fantasy Football Expo. So glad to see Bob on here too. That the way Tyler worked that out, that was pretty great. So generally I'm the tech guy. I'm the one around the Twitter streets that are trying to help people with their websites. And we were just having a lively conversation about video chat or video software. So that's kind of where I reside.
IDP as well.
Yeah.
Hey, you notice I put TJ Watt on the cover of this on this thumbnail for a reason. I got some IDP studs in here down at the bottom of the screen, both Nate and JC. JC ain't part-timing. Got some people in the chat already. Derek, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in, Derek. Corey saying, look at this lineup, bunch of studs. Appreciate and Tyler.
We're talking about us. Okay.
Appreciate the love. Derek said, starting Reed or Higgins this week. What do you think?
If Higgins is out there, if Higgins is ready to go, if he's ready to roll, I'm starting him. Jaden Reed is the guy who just gets the touchdown. I'm still the guy who is not that Jaden Reed truther like everybody else is. I am not I still like Dobbs, man. I'm still the Dobbs guy. I feel like he is the guy. Higgins can ball out. Higgins is healthy. Jamar is healthy. Burrow is healthy. We're gonna see some points from that team. We're gonna see some. I'm sorry. Reed is just the explosive, hopefully to catch a touchdown kind of guy. That's just my thought on it.
Well, I'm here to share consistency. Let's talk about it.
I love
Higgins. Higgins' biggest problem with consistency, he can't keep his ass consistently on the field.
Yeah,
that's his problem.
He's on the field.
He's healthy though. He's 80% consistent, 4 out of 5 games. Jaden Reed still doesn't suck. He's fine. Oh. He's 67%. Actually ranks 12th in total points. So I think I feel like if you have a gut feel, go with your gut. I'm gonna go with Higgins. He's playing at LA, so he's got a nice warm weather place to play. Don't have to worry about any sunlight getting in his eyes. He's not playing in Dallas. I'm gonna go Higgins just because of that, because he doesn't have to wear sunglasses while he's playing.
I love the Higgins call. When Higgins has been on the field this year, he's been good. And obviously Burrow looks for that second option. I mean, Gesicki's blow up game, that's Higgins if he's on the field, And so they're looking at, you're going to get that offense is flying. Burrow's playing like he's got something to prove. So I really like that over Reed this week. I'm going to throw the next one to you over there, Nate. Disley or Knox need a replacement for Kincaid this week?
Oh, man. That's a good question. Look, man, throwing a tight end question at me tonight. That's what are you doing here? Man, Kincaid, you got Knox.
Kincaid's probably going to be out, right?
No, Kincaid's out. That's why he's asking about Knox.
Right, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
He's got Knox.
Ooh, big country.
That's a good question. I'm gonna
Montana.
I'm gonna toss that over to Bob and see what the consistency looks like between those two guys.
I'll tell you my answer, dude. I'm saying big Montana. Go out there, start Will Disley. Don't even think about it. Big Montana's gonna have a big damn day. I'm telling you right now. Don't even.
So I'm scrolling down my consistency model here. Oh, here's Will Disley. He's at 11% for the year. Now, Dawson Knox has probably 0. Why? Because he's played behind Dalton Kincaid. But if we look at Dalton Kincaid has been up there at 40%. So what's that tell you? It tells you the Buffalo's not using their tight ends even when their best tight ends on the field. So I think this time you kind of have to go with who's going to see the ball more. Amari Cooper's coming back, right? We've already got Khalil Shakir. James Cook is running the ball well. I just don't think they need to use Knox. Now, does that mean Knox doesn't catch a touchdown? He might. And that's all you need during a clutch game at tight end. It's really that sad. But I think if I had to pick, to be honest with you, I'm going to tell you this. Flip a coin. I mean, if you want to go with Disley, go with Disley. If you feel like he might have more upside just because he'd probably see the ball more, but I think Knox is going to be 100% reliant on the touchdown. If he doesn't get the touchdown, he's 2 for 15. So, yeah, I think Disley probably the better choice, but I think they both have potential to suck as well. So, yeah, I think you're just kind of reaching for whatever. If you desperately have to start one of those two at tight end, you're in bad shape.
You know, I've been impressed with Big Montana's usage. You know, surprisingly, Justin Herbert's kind of come on, and he's like trying to get people involved, and so Disley's getting targets. However, I don't know. I mean, Knox has been everywhere. He's been infiltrating the game with Kincaid on the field. And this Buffalo Kansas City game is always nuts. Like, it is absolutely nuts.
Oh, I forgot about that. So let's bring up this point. Guess who's dead last against tight ends and giving up fantasy points? Kansas City. So they're 32nd. It's not even close. So I may have changed my mind now, and I think maybe Knox might be the better choice.
I'm still going Montana.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, and Disley's going against who?
Who you say? Disley's playing Bengals, right?
Yeah.
Or is that right?
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it's the Chargers.
I don't think Bengals. Where are Bengals at? So I don't think they're very good there.
Cincinnati is they're not any better, so they're 29th. Never mind.
I don't think they are any better.
I'm just trying to find some level of balance here. Like, it could change my mind, and that didn't do it. So,
all right, so
go with Big Country, Big Montana, whatever his name is.
Nate, you would be the deciding factor here because it's kind of a flip the coin.
Yeah, it does sound like coin flip. You know, I'll go with the one that hasn't burned me recently, and that'd be Will Disley because, you know, I've drafted him in the past. He's played really well, did some good on my team. So if we're flipping coins, let me go with my gut, Will Disley.
Look, I don't mind being in the 3-1 chair, okay? I'm going to take Knox for the touchdown upside. You make your decision, and let's rock. I hope you have a killer week. Brent saying, hey, fellas, how do we recover from that McLaurin dud? I don't know about you guys. I have McLaurin in 2 leagues. I expected this game to have points, and the Thursday night football matchup was absolutely just dry. I mean, we didn't even really get Saquon till the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it was until it wasn't, right? The first half was pretty Dudley, right? And we kind of do expect that from Thursday night games, right? Thursday night games, Monday night games. You kind of expect that to be, I mean, shoot. We were looking at
Baltimore, Cincinnati 2 weeks ago.
Punt bets are my new thing, man. 7.5 punts was the bet for last night's game. They went way over last night. So I'll tell you that. Like,
bet on punts?
Yeah, it's hard.
You bet on anything.
Yeah, I mean,
I know you can. I didn't know punts was a thing.
It sucks with what happened, and there wasn't a lot of plays, and McLaurin had put you a dud, but all it is just go in there and make your best decision, right? Make your best decisions to overcome. Don't get cute. Don't try to do something cute, right? You're like, all right, well, I got nothing from this player. I'm going to try to do something cute. Well, that cuteness might make you even be more in just go out there and be smart. Right now, you need to make smart plays to try to make a comeback. That's all you should do. Go out there and play your studs. That's it.
Yeah.
You can look at matchups, right? You can do that too, but at the same time, go play your guys. It's not McLaurin's fault that it was a Thursday night game.
Well, and I always tell people the consistency model is about the race. It's about the marathon.
Mm-hmm.
He was 80% consistent and was tied for 5th place overall. This has been the best year consistency-wise for Terry McLaurin since he started playing. Okay? People don't realize that. Everybody thinks Terry McLaurin has always been a god. He was always in the top 24 in total points, but his consistency was not always there. It was usually down in the 60, 65 range, which is like wide receiver 3, but people always drafted him as a wide receiver 2. This is the first year he's even been anywhere near wide receiver 1 numbers from a consistency standpoint. So yeah, he had a bad week. Guess what? He's going to drop down to, 7 out of 10. So now he's going to be 70%, but that still puts him in, the upper wide receiver 2, lower wide receiver 1 level. Don't give up. It'll come back. It was just one of those games. You'll be fine.
Here's a good metric to look at. Will Reichard, kicker for the Vikings. Legit, the most consistent kicker this year. Never, ever, 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 ever missed a kick all year. 2 weeks ago, he missed 2 kicks. One of them within less than field goal range or extra point range. So anybody can have a bad week. That's what I'm trying to say. Anybody can have a bad week, regardless of how consistent you are.
In this
there's
week,
very few 100% by the end of the year. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this game, if you watched the game, you saw Jaden Daniels was under duress the whole game. That's why you see people like Ertz, right? Like his dump off underneath guy when he's trying to just get away, have such a big game. Like he was under duress the whole game. None of his deep guys, Noah Brown, Terry McLaurin, all of them were missing. That's what happens when you have a good pass rush, and the Eagles pass rush just came to play.
Eckler was the guy. Eckler showed out, dude. Eckler tore it up, and it was just these little dump offs, right? That was it. He had no opportunities. It was just boom, whatever I can do to get the ball out. That's what it was, or run.
Right.
It happens. They were playing literally. It was like blitz ball. That's what the Eagles were doing. They were trying to blitz because they knew he would run the ball. That's it.
So we got IDP question in here.
Nate.
So Nate, I know you got this one here. Cam Curl or Jalen Mills this week?
Oh man,
it's funny. We don't get a ton of IDP questions. So Brent, appreciate you popping in and dropping that one.
Yeah. No, that's good question. Look, man, I am going to let you know that I sit there and I help run my companies. I hire smart people.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to throw this over to JC, my IDP
I'm
partner.
gonna look right here, real quick on a deep dive here. I'm looking at Curl. I would say he's not been consistent. Who else we got?
We don't have a consistency model for IDP, but we're trying to figure that out. Yeah, we're gonna get that.
If you're looking for, hold on a second. Is the question? The question would the best question would be really if it's for
you to start.
Back, there's players you can find out there for real for D backs. What was the other player? Who was the other player?
Jalen Mills. I actually think Jalen Mills has been playing really good for the Jets. I mean, he's been on it. I have him in one of my leagues, and he's
also very inconsistent.
Right, they're both volatile plays. I think that's why the question's there. They're both volatile plays. It's just, do you think Cam Curl has a decent game? Because Cam Curl, we saw him in Washington, and I
think Mills. If we're looking at both games, Mills hasn't had a lot. He came off injury. He's had better upside plays. If you're looking for an upside play, it's Mills. I guess there's probably better players out there. No joke. If you're looking for a defensive back, let me just look real quick. There's DeMar Hamlin's probably out there. Byron Murphy's out there. I mean, he's been more consistent, I guess. Byron Murphy.
It's a good question. So JC's
DeMar Hamlin's out there too. Like, he's been playing. I mean, he's more consistent.
Yes. So I've got Jalen Mills right now on the IDP Plus defensive back weekly rankings for this week at DB 45.
Yeah, like I said, that's not really what I'm looking for, right? If you want to
where do you have Curl, Nate?
Curl, I feel like it's better for upside play.
Curl.
Xavier Woods is probably out there.
Is there something?
Let's see. Oh, we're on week 11. Yeah, like I said, Byron Murphy, man. So Minnesota gets to play against the Tennessee Titans this week. So I don't hate on going to get a defensive back against a quarterback that just likes to throw the damn ball. He likes to throw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't hate on a DB who's going to get an opportunity to tackle a lot. So when you're looking for defensive backs, you're looking for somebody who's going to get a lot of tackles or interceptions. But, tackles is the main thing, especially in IDP, because it's 2 points, right? Most of it's 2 points per tackle. Well, if you can get 10 tackles, that's 20 points. So, I mean, can't hate on that, especially on where Byron Murphy's going to play on the field. He's going to get a lot of opportunities, even with running. So you're going to have two players. So you have Tony Pollard, right, who is a pass catching running back. He's going to either run or catch. So Byron Murphy's going to have the opportunity to tackle either of those where he's out on the field. So I would say if he's out there, I looked at right now. I just looked at our draft night out. Who's out there and available on Draft Night Out, which we have a IDP, which you run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Draft Night Out, and he's available out there. Byron Murphy, so I would say go look and see if he's available. But the other two players, you're taking a swing. They're both of those players are literally hit or miss.
Yeah, Cameron Curl's got a lot of volatility right now. I'm looking at his weekly fantasy finishes. The last 3 weeks. Last week he was DB 65. The week before was DB 60. The week before that was DB 72. And then if you go back 4 weeks, he was DB number 2. So
it's
a
too
lot
much
of volatility.
Inconsistency.
Yeah.
So with defensive backs, like I said too, I would go looking to see who's out there. You could dump somebody off. Like if Byron Murphy's out there, he is hit or miss. But I feel like this week with somebody like when you're going out there with a gunslinger, right? like there's more opportunities to get tackles.
Yeah, I love it. Good stuff. Matthiasen popping in on your comment, JC said studs don't mean start Tyreek Hill.
I mean,
it's been painful this year. Not gonna lie.
Not start Tyreek.
And McLaurin's been a bum in my book, so I wasn't surprised. Matthiason's always popping in with some player hate. Like that's his MO. Player hate.
McLaurin's never been a bum. McLaurin's also been catching from players that haven't been great, right?
He's had some pretty crappy quarterbacks over the last few years.
So we got Daniel Maldonado. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. Hey, guys, from Mexico, who should I roster? Only two, Shakir, Tillman, or Jennings?
Ooh, Cedric.
And then I think that's a pink waving hand, pink waving hand, pink waving hand.
Pink wave, a lot of pink waving.
Yeah, a lot of pink waving hands.
Yeah, Cedric, you have
all right,
to.
So I was looking into this.
Cedric. Are we all on board with Cedric?
We are.
Bob may not be so sure.
What?
No, I am.
So
look,
good.
He's 3 for 3. He's 3 for 3 since he started. Can't argue with that.
Since
the problem is he's got
right?
three. He's got 3 really good receivers here. The tough part is who are we leaving out? Okay.
Put it up. Just put it on the screen again. Just put it up there.
Tillman is 3 for 3 since he started.
He has to be.
Okay. Juwan Jennings last week 7 for 93. And then you've got Khalil Shakir.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw this out to you, JC.
Hold on a second.
Who?
Last 3 weeks. I want you to do that for each player, right?
But
for Tillman, that was your first argument. So you have to do that now for each player.
Okay,
Tillman was
Juwan Jennings didn't
the
play
last
7, 8,
3
9
weeks. So
but Jennings didn't play. He was hurt.
Tillman has to be started. You can't say
okay.
Well, I think he's saying
right now. I'm
should
telling
be
you right
rostered.
now. I'm out trying to trade for Tillman just because of how consistent he's been since Jameis has been there. He's just like Jameis is like. Tillman.
All right, but I'm gonna ask you this question, JC.
Okay.
Who has the higher consistency ranking this year? Okay, who has the highest percentage? CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Khalil Shakir?
Probably Shakir.
It's a trick question.
It's a trick question. They're tied. But that's the point. He is tied. He's had 4 straight clutch games. He's 78%. He's tied with CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So how do you leave him out against Kansas City, which you know is going to be a shootout? Yeah. So now Juwan Jennings seems to be the odd man out, right? You agree?
Sit his ass. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying my only argument is I'm starting Tillman. I can start whoever else you want to start besides him.
Yeah.
Start
like I said, my point was this is not it's a no-brainer. Get him out.
All right, so, Jennings can.
I'm going to level this up a little bit.
Jennings is out, but man, it's too bad you can't start him too because he's been pretty tough lately.
We're going to level it up a little bit. The question is, who should I roster? So let's take this to a dynasty level, right?
Yeah.
Let's take it to a dynasty level. If he's got to let one of these guys go, he's going to drop them. They're probably going to get picked up by somebody else next week.
Jennings.
Who are you dropping?
Jennings out.
Yeah, he can go. Let somebody else deal with the headaches. You know what? That's a time bomb. You're literally what you're doing is you are dropping a time bomb out there onto the waiver wire. Someone's gonna pick him up and be like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna start him this week," and just go right on their roster.
We got Matthiasen popping in with some more hate. Hamlin sucks, and there's always a risk of him. Let's see.
True. It can happen.
We got the Frogs. Start Ladd, Pearsall, or Pittman this week. PPR. Pick one. I don't want Pittman. Anthony Richardson's back in the starting seat. I think I want Ladd. I think this one's easy for me.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think so too. They're playing Cincinnati. Right?
You know, I don't hate on Ricky though either. Ricky Pearsall has kind of secretly become the favorite kind of wide receiver target. I'm not, I'm getting rid of, Kittle. Obviously, he has his special own spot on that team, but I'm not hating on Ricky. Ricky Pearsall's kind of just come out of nowhere, like got shot in the chest. Like he's like, this is my Superman chest, right? Yeah, I ripped his chest apart. He's like, I'm ready to, last man, he just out of nowhere, dude. I don't know. There's something special about this kid. I'm not saying not start him over Ladd. Like Ladd has his own special spot on that team too, but there are 2 other receivers on that team that kind of do well too. But Pearsall's kind of just right. He's kind of just out of nowhere.
Yeah, I get one to root for him. Like you want to root for him, and he had a good game last week. I still Ladd
definitely no Pittman.
Yeah,
definitely no Pittman.
Yeah.
All right, the Smitty.
They both are just heroes. They both have just been heroes in their teams.
Trade London for Debo. You in or you out?
Absolutely not.
Bob says
Drake
no.
London, 80% consistent, 4th in total points. Debo, 5 for 8, 63%. He's already missed a couple games. He sneezes and he gets hurt. It's not a good thing.
Sorry.
I mean, Debo is fantastic. I love him, but no, you can't.
Debo is a Gamecock, and I am a homer, and I love the kid. He is the thing is too is they're different. You're trading for a different style of players, right? One is legit a gadget player, and one is legit a wide receiver. So you're literally trading for something. You're hoping that. Well, now McCaffrey's back, right? So you're losing all that potential of Deboism, right? From the backfield, from doing all those crazy things that Debo does. I think, London is that. I mean, I don't know. Mooney has been absolutely fucking dominating. Excuse my language, but he has been absolutely dominating. Mooney has been doing so. But yeah, the opportunity has kind of left from Debo being that gadget, with McCaffrey back.
So right now you got Atlanta with 2 wide receivers that are ranked in the top 10 for the fantasy finishes over the season so far, and of number 5 is Drake London. He's got some down games, but then he's got like week 5 he was the number 2 wide receiver. Week 7 he was the number 8. Like, so he's got some top 10 finishes. So I don't know, like, to move off from that for Deebo Samuel, like,
you're right.
The potential of like
especially with McCaffrey back now, I feel like Drake has more upside.
Here's the only thing I'm going to throw out, because we don't know all of the situations here for him. If you have to win out to make the playoffs, like you can't afford to take a week off, Drake London's off in week 12.
Yeah.
This week he plays at Denver against Patrick Surtain.
Yeah, that's pretty tough too.
San Francisco's buys over. So, like, if you need the wins,
I like that, Bob.
Now, if you're playing for the playoffs, let's say you're 9-1, you got a lock. If you're playing for the playoffs, Drake London's fine. If you're playing for the next 2 to 4 weeks, you can't take a chance with London going against Patrick Surtain this week and being on a bye the week 12.
That's
the only thing I will throw out as a caveat. That's all.
Smart. Hey, Bob. That's why they call you a genius.
Yeah, I don't think anybody does that.
Toes, friend.
But thank you.
I say it, Bob. I say
okay,
it.
Thank you, man. You 3 say it.
Yeah.
All in one
Maybe
show
Nate
popping in, flexing on us. He says, okay, here's his lineup. Burrow, Gibbs, Connor, Flowers, London, Kelsey, Puka. So I guess Kelsey tight end, Puka in the flex. Bench is Higgins, Jacobs, Johnston, Pollard, Ridley, Waddle, and Pacheco on IR.
So he's in a 4-team league against his mom and 2 cousins.
So Matthiasen down here said, hey, man, you're good. No need to make moves. It's an 8-team league. Good luck.
Add IDP. There you go. Add IDP.
You
make it more interesting.
Jacobs needs to be in that line.
Wow, I mean, that team is ridiculous.
I'll tell you this, if there's anything that you can just drop real quick, Bob just made a really good point on London. So maybe you're swapping in somebody for London this week.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I would say swap Puka with Flowers, and I would put Jacobs in where Puka would be. There's something about Jacobs this week.
You're gonna roll with London against Surtain?
Yeah, you can take London out too, but there's something about Jacobs this week that just screams start me. I don't know what it is, man, but there's just something about Jacobs this week that just says start me.
He said he's 6
Jacobs,
and 4.
Jacobs has been hot. Streak. I mean, let's look.
Yeah, this week I don't know.
The
What do they play this week?
Yeah, Jacobs is 89% consistent on the year, folks.
What do they play this week? Yeah, there's something about him this week.
Green Bay.
Like, yeah, there's something that just
we were talking about. They're at Chicago.
Yeah, start them.
So,
it's gonna be. They're gonna be. I don't know. Green Bay's gonna come out firing. So you got to remember this too. Chicago's gonna.
So here's another one you may do. You may want to bench Flowers going against Pittsburgh.
I think Green
maybe put in Higgins. Yeah.
So basically, swap around wide receivers, move in maybe Puka, Higgins, and then drop Jacobs in the in your flex spot.
You can sit London, move Puka in, put Higgins in.
Yeah, Puka's already in there.
Yeah, but Puka's in the flex, so you can move.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Move Puka over, right? Take London out. London was in the flex, right? There was somebody else too.
No, Flowers and London are the two receivers.
Oh yeah, take Flowers out. Take Puka out. Move Puka over. Take London out.
Put in Higgins
in, and then in the flex put Jacobs. And I think you're gonna have a dominant week.
Dominant week. I mean, it's hard to believe that anybody else can be competitive if that's your roster. So Paul Vo said, I need on the opposite end of the spectrum, he needs a desperation start. And apparently the only two options are Jerome Ford or Keaton Mitchell.
So he's in a 32-team league.
Yeah.
Wow. That is some desperation. Holy shit.
What about like a Malik Washington? I'm sure he's out there. He might be out there.
I assume it has to be a running back?
Jerome Ford, I don't hate.
It's like you got to go Jerome Ford. At least he's got an easy shot to number 2, right? There's nobody beyond Chubb besides Ford.
He's got an easy shot to score a touchdown, right? Chubb gets hurt or something, and he gets a shot at the touchdown. That's about it. Keaton Mitchell, what is he going to do?
He's not getting any red zone carries because them are going to the king. Just letting you know.
There's got to be more out there.
I mean, like, is Audric Estime available? Something like that?
If it has to be a running back,
must be a super deep league.
Dude, Ty Chandler might be out there. You can look for him. He might be out there in the waivers because Aaron Jones might not start this week, so it's going to be.
Oh, okay. Well, that has potential. Yeah.
I mean, there's an opportunity there for him. I'm going to tell you right now, Cam Akers is not good. From somebody who watches the games, last week he did not look great either. Ty Chandler only got a couple opportunities, and with the opportunities he did, he looked okay. So this week now, with
that's desperation there.
Does not start. I don't know. Just a thought.
Hey, so on this, he did mention that Connor's on bye, so you'll move Jacobs actually into Connor's spot. So
Check goes back. I don't hate that either.
Not this week.
Good lineup. You're going to be okay either way. If you want to, even if you want to roll with what like if you want to do everything we said and then move Jacobs in your running back and just drop Flowers in your flex, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Let's see. Keep rolling. We're piling up here. Nino said, I've done 2 trades at the deadline in different leagues. Any thoughts on them? Sent Chase Brown plus Ingram for Connor and Otten. Sent Reed and Ingram for Neighbors. My first inclination, I really like the upgrade of Otten over Ingram, but I really like Chase Brown. I mean, James Conner's like RB9 right now in the season.
But he does get
I'm okay with doing the deal just to get Otten. I want Otten over Ingram. I like double digits targets tight end.
I'm confused of how he traded Evan Ingram twice.
Is Mike Evans coming back?
How did he trade Evan Ingram twice?
They were two different leagues. Two different leagues.
Oh, two different
So he was
leagues.
ready to move Ingram. I like the Reed Ingram for Neighbors. I think you killed it on that.
Yeah, I like both the trades. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, as long as he has his second trade has a backup tight end, that's fine. Because tight ends are hard to come by, so I'm not sure who his backup was.
This year, man. This year's been abundance.
It's been terrible.
It's been weird. It's been a weird. This year's been the weirdest year I think I don't know. This year might be the weirdest year I think I've ever played in fantasy football. But I mean, the COVID years were pretty crazy, but I don't know. This year's been wild.
Yeah, those are the really weird ones. Yeah.
They were weird, but I don't know. This year's been kind of funky.
So, as you guys know, this show is sponsored by the Fantasy Sports Advice Network, the social media platform for fantasy sports. So, as we do, we're going to pop over there. We've got a few questions over there we're going to get to, and then we'll hop right back in the chat. So, keep on coming. We'll head over there.
We are here. We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com today.
So we got over there. Let me actually scroll. Well, let's see. With no McBride this week, I've got a gut feeling that Taysom Hill might have a decent game against Cleveland. Should I roll with it or play it safe with Tucker Kraft? What do you think, fellas?
I don't know if Taysom Hill is really going to have a dominant game. I mean, you're really playing you're playing with you're running with the Bulls, right? You're hoping for
you're playing the ceiling play. It's the gamble. It's like you're throwing all
you're playing the ceiling game, man. Like you're really flipping a 3-0 coin. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. It's really that with Taysom Hill. Like Taysom Hill could have an explosive game because he ends up throwing a touchdown, running a touchdown, and catching a touchdown, or he does absolutely nothing. Right? It's really that. I think Kraft to me. So what did I say? I said the Packers were gonna have a good game this week. I feel like the Packers against I don't know if you understand about NFC North. NFC North is a very different component when it comes to the NFL. We're very strong when it comes to defense, very strong when it comes but when it comes to the Bears this year, it's just been oof. I don't know. They've just been this team where you don't really know what they're going to do. But when it comes to the Packers, when it comes to the Vikings, when it comes to Detroit, man. Detroit's going to the Super Bowl this year. But they've been very more consistent. Even if it's not with the offense, it's going to be the defense, right? The defense will show up. With Green Bay, man, I think Green Bay is going to have a massive week this week. They're just going to go into Chicago, and they're just going to put up massive points. Jordan Love has been kind of weird this year, but I feel like everybody as a whole, like Kraft this year has been what's his consistency, Bob? Kraft
so he's 44%, right? 8th in total points because he really didn't get going until week 4. Since week 4, he's 4 out of 6. So if you look at it that way, 67%.
Yeah.
I think I would play it safe. Taysom Hill is just like you said. He's such a crapshoot. He can go 2 for 15 and do nothing, and he can have 2 rushing touchdowns and throw what. But you have no idea. There's no magic. Like
there's not a lot that's going on in that team right now. I feel like a lot of that stuff is going through Alvin Kamara. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if
Kamara's healthy, it's like you're not gonna just go away from Kamara to put Taysom in, right? You don't do that. I don't feel like that really happens.
Yeah, if you're comparing these guys on how they're finishing each week, like Taysom Hill is tight end 30. He's had some really good upside games where he ends up tight end number 5. But then you go to Tucker Kraft, who's averaging out at tight end 9 with at least one tight end 1 game. He had a tight end 3 game. But then sprinkled in there is a tight end 31, a tight end 27. So, they're both have their levels of volatility, but you're talking about like a pear with a small bruise and an apple that you just like creamed with a baseball bat. So I'm leaning Tucker Kraft on this one.
I feel like
it sounds like it's a style thing, like you either go with your floor, right? Like you want to know that you're going to be guaranteed 8 to 10 points, right? Like you want to make sure that you're guaranteed points there and you don't have a 3 or a 0, or you go for the gunner, because the reality is Taysom could have a 30-point game. He could have a 20-point game. He could have a 3-point game.
I think he's too. So
yeah, I think his lowest game of the season was 3.9 points for Taysom, but still, I mean, who knows? So if you know you're going to need it, if you played McLaurin this week and you got 2 out of him, you're probably going to go Taysom because you're either washed or maybe if he lands 25, you're going to be all right. All right, popping back over to Fantasy Sports Advice Network, we got Dad Bod coming in saying, guys, I just got an offer where I'd receive Pop Douglas or Dontavian Wicks and a 26 third-round pick for Cortland Sutton. Which side do you want? Do you want a Wicks in a third or Pop in a third, or do you want Sutton?
I'd rather have Sutton. So I'm going to tell you right now, I've never been a huge Wicks fan. I'm sorry. I've had people trying to argue with me, Wicks over Dobbs. I'm like, you are absolutely out of your freaking mind, dude. Wicks is the guy. Wicks is the number 4. I'm sorry. He is the number 4 on the team. He always has been. He's the guy who basically fills in when somebody's hurt. When somebody is hurt, he comes in and he fills in because he's the guy who nobody pays attention to, and he ends up catching the touchdowns. That's what Wicks is. He is the 4, the guy who fills in. Guess what? When everybody else is healthy, what does Wicks do? Nothing. I'm sorry.
I mean, I assume this is a dynasty.
I would rather have Sutton, who is the number 1 receiver on the team. Why?
Yeah, I assume it's a dynasty league. Cortland Sutton's 29 years old.
I don't care right now.
Does that mean that I like this trade? No, I don't. You should get more for Cortland Sutton. Just somebody who is. So right now, if you want to get rid of Cortland Sutton, which I don't think is a terrible idea, 29 years old, because you've got maybe 2 or 3 years left. If you're not competitive, then I would put him in the trade bait and go after those teams that are 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and trade Sutton to them for a 2nd round pick.
Yep.
Or somebody that's got some potential.
I'll tell you right now,
in a 26th third is worthless. I mean, it's a bag of rocks. Really is.
I love what Nick's really is focusing on him.
Oh, I like Nick's a lot. And like I said, for the next 2-3 years, you're going to get quite a bit out of Sutton.
Was trading for Nick's, and right now I'm trying to go get Sutton. If I can, I'm throwing a 2nd round pick this year and a 3rd round pick next year. I'm willing to trade that to get Sutton because of how much he's being targeted by Bo Nix. Like I was so high on Sutton like 3 years ago because I knew how talented this guy was. Sutton's like what everyone thought, when McLaurin was like the new hot, that's what Sutton was. Like Sutton was like that. Like I knew this kid, he was mad talented. He just hasn't really had anybody to throw to him. And now that Nix is like mad targeting him and he's doing huge things, like I'm like, I don't care how old he is. If I can get him for 2 years, I'll go pay for that. If I'm going to pay a 2nd and 3rd for him, I think it's a victory.
Yeah, you got to get more than that.
Oh, I don't. Oh.
All right, so we're gonna keep on rolling. I don't mind Cortland Sutton. I don't want a 3rd, and I'm not really interested in Wicks or it's.
Yeah, I don't want.
it just, to me, I just keep what I got until I get better offer. So we've got a pretty good number of questions popping in, so we're gonna have to kind of rapid fire these here for a second. So we got Neo P. I'm in a rough spot. He says it's a full PPR league. I'm in a rough spot. Start one at flex. Estime, Pop Douglas, or Disley. Full PPR. You're saying Big Montana?
Actually, I like Disley or Douglas. I'm not mad with either. Not Estime.
Let's see. Who do the Patriots have?
I don't think it really matters. Douglas is still getting opportunities, but if you want my personal opinion, I still like Big Country this week. He's going to give you 12, 13 points. I don't mind that in the flex.
Rams for Douglas.
I mean, Estime is okay, but he's playing against Atlanta. Atlanta's 10th, top 10 in giving it the fewest fantasy points. So with that and sharing with Javonte, no. Pop Douglas, I didn't know he was still breathing. So I'm going to go Disley.
Yeah, Disley's averaging, probably 7 targets a game. PPR, he had 5 catches last week. Full PPR. I'm good with rolling that way. Armin, hey fellas, Nix or Goff and Knox or Disley. We talked about Knox or Disley. We already cleared that one up. It was 3-1. Bob, JC, Nate, all Disley. I was the only one saying Knox. So go with what you want. Nix or Goff this week is the question.
Nate?
Coming off of that 5-pick game from Goff, I'm honestly going to say that Goff's probably going to he's going to correct, and he's probably not going to throw as much, but it is against the Jaguars.
At home.
Yeah. And then on the other side of it, you've got Nix, who is above Goff from fantasy finishes.
They play the Falcons this week?
Who's that?
Did they play the Falcons this week, right?
That's a good question.
Right? You just said Estime was playing the Falcons, so he's
yeah.
Yeah, Denver.
Oh, yeah. You want to know what? Those are shootouts. Those are anything against the Falcons are shootout games.
Yeah.
Bo Nix, I'm telling you, man, he was on my waiver wire article this week. Bo Nix, ooh, baby. The next 3 weeks, he gets the Falcons, he gets the Raiders, and he gets the Browns. Woo! I have fired him up. I traded for him. I'm like, then he gets a bye week, and then playoffs, dude. I'm all about it.
Let me share some quick consistency data. Jared Goff at home against a bad defense, which is bottom 10, which Jacksonville falls into.
Correct.
Over the last 3 years, he averages 26.2 fantasy points, and he's 86% consistent.
Yeah. I
like Bo Nix a lot. Don't get me wrong. But at home, against bad defenses, Jared Goff eats him up. I feel like he's going to – you talk about overcorrect. I feel like this is like a 3-4 touchdown game. They're just going to blow him out.
Yeah, I think he's going to be touchdown dependent
for 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think he's going to be touchdown dependent because he's going to protect that ball. He's going to be handing it to the running backs, and the running backs are going to get David Montgomery's going to average 15 yards per snap.
There's 0 running backs running for touchdowns in Denver.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning Bo Nix on this.
All right.
There are 2 running backs that could run for 4 touchdowns for the Lions.
And don't get me wrong. I hope David Montgomery has 3 rushing touchdowns.
And
then you throw in Ben Johnson, giving a handoff to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who then throws it in for a touchdown. So, there might be a passing touchdown in this game, and it might not be from Jared Goff.
Right.
And it might not go to an offensive player. It could go to an offensive lineman.
It could. Michael Keaton popping in and said, my wide receivers are Pickens, Juwan Jennings, Devontae, and Tillman. should I trade Devontae and Tillman for Mike Evans?
Mike Evans out for the rest of the year, isn't he?
No, he comes back after the bye week, which is next week.
That's what I was saying when we were talking earlier.
Oh, I'm definitely not trading Tillman and Devontae for him. Yeah. No.
It feels pretty deep. I think with Evans still on injury, if I could slide I would upgrade Devontae for Evans.
I'm not trading Tillman, dude. There's just something about him, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm trading for Tillman. If I can get him, because he's a cheap wide receiver who's doing really big things, why are you trading him away? Like, you're trading him at his high for somebody else. Like, I would not be doing that. You can trade somebody else who's not doing so good, who has a big name.
I think you could probably, like I said, I think you could turn Devontae Adams alone for Mike Evans. Mike Evans coming off injury, not really knowing what you're going to get.
If this is a dynasty league, you'd probably trade Devontae and a third for Evans, and I would be okay with that. Do not trade Tillman. You're crazy.
I agree with that.
Sorry.
Yeah, so he was out last week. They're on a bye this week, right? Yeah. So he'll come back week 12.
Is the ultimate huckaboo.
But yeah, I wouldn't trade.
Like,
I wouldn't trade both. I would trade
Tillman.
I would trade Devontae for Evans.
Tillman
that should be a fair trade. The guy needs somebody for this week.
He said he's trying to do it this week because he doesn't want Devontae and Tillman to have a bad game and it's off the table. I mean, Evans, you're getting top 10. Before Evans went down, I mean, even with Godwin there, you're top 10 wide receiver.
No, I understand.
Tillman, I'm telling you right now, you have a quarterback. Do you know what 30 for 30 means? Like, that means he's gonna throw the shit out of the ball. Doesn't care how many interceptions he's gonna get. He's gonna throw the ball 500 times, and Tillman's getting 400 of those targets. You know what I'm saying? Like, do not trade Tillman.
We got Matthias and Pop, and he said, just accept it. You don't need depth. You need a 2-touchdown Mike Evans performance in pool playoffs. And that's my opinion.
Until Mike Evans comes back and he's hurt right again. I'm just saying, if you want to make the trade, just don't put Tillman in that trade because he's already putting up. What is he averaging right now the last 3 weeks? 19.
Oh, look, Michael's saying, he said Tillman looks like the real deal too.
Yeah. He's averaging like 18 points a week the last 3 weeks. So I would not be trading that player.
Look, I'm getting a little love over here. Nino Pena said, I'm with you, Tyler. Team Knox greater than Big Montana. Yes.
Don't hate on him. Montana, baby.
We got Daniel Maldonado. I messed that up.
Maldonado.
Yeah.
Maldonado.
Coming back in, he said, help me. He has now added Amari Cooper to the deal. Hell, roster 3. So you got to drop one of these. Are you
Jennings?
You're still dropping Jennings, keeping Cooper.
Yeah.
All right. Albert popping in. What's up, everyone? What's up, Albert? Let's see. That's what I was thinking. Tillman a dog, and he won't take the 1-for-1.
Yeah, I'm not. There's just something about he's just tearing it up, man. I have no way.
So Matthias said in a tough spot here. Who should I start at RB2? He started Saquon, so good. Congratulations.
Yeah,
you got a nice lead. It came in the fourth quarter, and it was really pretty. So do you go Taylor or Walker? Bob, obviously.
After Barkley's performance, you can start your mom this week for all I care.
Yeah.
Bob, what does the consistency guide say? Taylor or Walker?
Consistency model.
We got to remember, Walker's been hurt a lot this year, so it's going to be hard to get a consistent play from this year.
I mean, Walker's 86% consistent. Jonathan Taylor's 86%. They both are 6 for 7. They both have had injuries. I guess it comes down to who they're playing against.
Yeah, who does Seattle play?
What do we got? We got Seattle's playing San Fran, if I'm not mistaken, San Fran.
Rivalry game. Ugh.
But yeah, San Fran.
Are they playing in San
Fran? They're 21st against the run. Not a good thing.
Are they playing in San
Fran? Indy is playing at the Jets. And the Jets against the run are 14th. So, you know,
are they playing in San Fran or in Seattle?
It's in San Fran.
Ugh.
Yeah, and it's at the Jets for.
I actually don't hate Walker
Taylor
because Walker does.
So I would say one, check the weather, see what it's going to do in New York this weekend because they're playing outside. San Fran is in San Fran. I assume the weather's okay, but check that. That's a tough one. I mean, I think you flip a coin there. If I had to choose, which I wish I had a choice like that, is my heartbeat too in most leagues. But I think I would go with Walker. They just seem to.
Who has a bye week?
Anthony Richardson right now is such a mess. I'm worried that teams are just going to put 8 in a box and stop Taylor and then say, okay, Anthony Richardson beat us. He hasn't been doing a good job. So
I'm starting Richardson over CJ Stroud this week just because I think Richardson's about to come the fuck out and say, F y'all. I'm about to go hard. And I don't know. There's something about him being – can you imagine being like a guy – all right, so you got hurt the first year. And you come out this year, you didn't play well, right? That's not on you too, right? You need to be developed, right? That's something that's on the team. Like you're there to learn. Like they should help you. All right, if I got benched after not playing well because my team's not helping me develop, then I come back and they're like, all right, we're gonna give you another chance. I'm gonna be like, all right, well, I'm gonna show you what the fuck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out there and do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do me because you're not letting me do me. I'm gonna go do me. And I think he's gonna come out this week and he's just gonna go ham. And Downs might get some stuff, dude. Alec Pierce this week, oh boy, there's something about him this week. If you're
you starting Taylor or Walker?
Alec Pierce this week, play him so hard this week.
So the funny thing is, and he called me and said, Tyler, you're foul for not reading the second part of my question and making these guys discuss it. So his question, he said. The other will be started in my flex, but I'm asking for the visual of seeing them next to the 32 Barkley.
Yeah, I don't think it matters, dude. I think
but it was good to argue. I enjoyed the argument.
I love it. Look, and y'all getting some love. The Tillman love is getting some love. You know, that's what I'm thinking. Tillman's that dog.
I'm trading for Tillman right now.
Tillman will bring me that chip this year.
Here's the thing too, is a lot of people are saying, right, Tillman, we're trying to get rid of him at his high. Well, people are right now thinking that he is on his downturn, right? So take advantage of that. Take advantage of what people are thinking, that people are thinking that Tillman is maybe just, he's had a couple good games. Take advantage of them thinking that he's not worth that much. Go out there and get somebody that is balling. He's legit. He's been the most consistent player on that team as a target. I mean, Elijah Moore has had a lot of targets, but if you look at Tillman, he's been the most consistent when it comes to fantasy points.
Yeah. Nice. Well, we're going to roll through these last. We are at our time limit, so we're going to get one off. I will direct the question to each of you. You just hit it. So we'll start with you, Bob. I'm worried about CMC if I'm being honest, but this deal seems too good to decline. Send James Cook and Mooney for CMC. Are you doing it, Bob?
He wants to trade Cook and Mooney for CMC?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right. So keep Cook and Mooney.
Yeah, keep Cook and Mooney.
It's hard.
You got to have the depth.
All right.
It's just been too good.
I've got CMC's. I've got it all.
Yeah, I know, but CMC.
I'm gonna roll with it, and I'll die by the sword.
When is the last player with tinnitus or what? What does he have?
Double tinnitus.
JC, I don't care. I just want to.
Todd Gurley. Do you remember who that player is? He stopped playing because of this shit. Yeah, he was
All right.
also a baller.
This one, you, JC. We already know what you're going to say, but Evans wide receiver 1 is lethal and sounds scary. Is Tillman really going to keep it up rest of season?
Yes.
You have 10 seconds.
Yes. I don't have to say anything
Yes.
else.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Less than 10. Give me
All right.
another. I got 5 more seconds.
All right. How y'all doing? Thanks, Jordan, for popping in. Like, subscribe. You're awesome. I got a question. I need a flex spot here, and I don't know who to start. Chubb, Jameson, MVS, full PPR, 12-man. Who you going?
I really like Jameson Williams this week. Jameson's he'll stretch it. He might not get a lot of receptions, but he's one of those bomb touchdown players. That would be my pick.
Opportunities. Start Chubb.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Phil Langford's in the chat. Are y'all liberals going to talk about the Jake Paul fight? We're not going to talk about the Jake Paul fight. We're actually going to end this thing here so that we can watch the Mike Tyson knock him out. Smells like a liberal. Smells like liberal. I don't really know what these messages mean. I appreciate you for tuning in. Thanks for the comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. We just here talking about football. And with Matthias and y'all on crack, I want CMC. Let's go.
Then go get him.
Somebody's got to lose.
I like CMC too, dude, but I don't like arthritis. I'll tell you that. And arthritis in the knees. What are we just on? Do you remember Todd Gurley?
Look, CMC's just built different.
Yeah,
I will.
Todd
That's
Gurley
like
is also
there's like a
built
few
different.
players where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let
Todd
him die
Gurley
on my
was
roster.
built different as well.
JC, you're
Do
just
not
aging yourself
remember
now.
Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley was 10 years ago.
Yeah, and he also got arthritis. And he went.
Yeah.
Well, look, thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thank you, man.
Awesome crew tonight, Bob, JC, Nate. You guys killed it. Make sure you check them out on Twitter at the different things that they're a part of. Come hang out at fantasysportsadvice.com. We're all there chilling, answering your questions. And again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week, 9:00 Central Time on From the Forum. See ya.
We are here. FantasySportsAdvice.com, offering the best fantasy sports social media platform. Why join endless Discord communities or the trolls of Reddit? Fantasy Sports Advice is a community designed to help you win with 24/7 support. Go to FantasySportsAdvice.com and become a pro member for unlimited access. Again, go to FantasySportsAdvice.com.